What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to ttpsports, and I just want to get off my mind from last night's Flyers game because really haven't been able to do a lot of videos with the end of the semester coming up. But now I got a week off for Thanksgiving break, so hopefully I can get some more videos in for you guys. Hopefully I can get something going here. But I just really need to get something off my mind from last night's Flyers game. Called in the Mikey Missinelli today to try to get something going, but then a little bit into my dog barks, so we were just talking about my dog and like what breed he was, so I just really need to get something off about the Flyers. We're just stuck in mediocrity for the past, I would say ever since Laviolette got fired, we've been stuck in mediocrity. It's just, I don't know. It's like one channel I watch, it's Sports Talk with Bros, and he discussed that the Flyers are a team, like, from what he's seen this year and also from what I've seen this year, they have extreme highs and they have extreme lows. There's nothing in the middle. And I agree with him because the past 2 years, a couple years ago, you had the 10-game winning streak and we missed the playoffs. And then last season, you had the 10-game losing streak and we made the playoffs. So right now, what the Flyers are doing right now, they got off to a really terrible start. They were like at least 3-7-1, and then we went on that Western Conference road trip and we got a ton of points out of that. And now we're coming back home and we lost 2 out of 5 so far. We won first two games of this homestand and we lost the last 2. And these are very beatable teams. We beat Arizona, we beat Chicago, they were very beatable. And then we playing Florida, yeah, they were on a hot streak, but they were still beatable. Then we're playing the Devils, who were struggling a little bit, they were very beatable. The only team, I would say, out of this entire homestand that's not going to be beatable is Tampa Bay, even though they have Andrei Vasilevsky, the best goaltender in the league, possibly out for a month with his fractured foot. There's just really, we've been waiting for this team to take the next step in this process that Ron Hextall's doing, and we don't see it right now. We're seeing some of the sparks from the young guys coming up, like Patrick Lindbaum, Provorov, Gostisbehere, and all that stuff. But is it really going to start going up once Carter Hart gets into the NHL? And who knows? Who knows if he's ready next year? Who knows how long he's going to need to be ready before he gets into the NHL? But timetable says he is most likely going to be the #1 starter next season because you're not going to re-sign Elliott, you're not going to re-sign Neuvirth because both their contracts are expiring. And then you got the whole situation with Cal Pickard when you claimed him off waivers. Are the Flyers just too stubborn to let him go? Maybe he's going to be the backup role going into next season, who knows? But then you got the whole situation with Anthony Stolarz and Alex Lyon, who really haven't gotten a chance to show what they can do in this league. But yeah, now you got Lyon being called up from the Phantoms after Brian Elliott's injury. And I feel bad for Elliott because over these past stretches of games from the Western Conference road trip up to these few home games, he's been playing really good. And was it due that he was going to get injured? Probably. It was too good to be true that he was playing as well as he was. He was stealing games for us. And like, when he's been healthy this year, he's been looking really good. And it's probably one of those things where it's just too good to be true, where goaltending problems, it's not a big story in Philadelphia, because if you're a goalie, you're coming to Philadelphia, you're either going to get injured or you're just going to look terrible. That's the main story with goaltenders. We haven't had a #1 since Ron Hextall. Hopefully, well, we all know Carter Hart's hopefully going to turn out to be what he's... It's just... Last night's game, from what me and my father were talking about, the special teams, they are atrocious. Especially, well, the penalty kill has always been atrocious since LaPerriere has been the coach for that. But even with the power play, over the years, it's been regressing. Because it's been the same unit probably since 2012 when you got Drew, Voracek, and you got Simmons up front. But yeah, they've been changing the front man in the net the past couple of seasons. Now you got JVR in front of the net. But then when you lose Brayden Schenn, and now you slot in Couturier to that first-line power play. And then a couple years ago when you got Gostisbehere coming up in his rookie season, yeah, the power play looked lethal during that stretch. But then over the couple of years, it's been regressing again because the league's most likely, it's just getting too predictable. You got Drew and Voracek on the two end boards, and then you got Gostisbehere from the point. It's just, they're looking for one of them to make a really good pass, or they're just looking to link Gostisbehere from the one-timer from the point. it's getting too predictable. So something on that power play needs to change. The guy they hired from Mira, I thought he was supposed to fix the power play, but nothing's really fixed right now. And the penalty kill is just a penalty kill. I really don't know if it's just LePerrier's system. Is it the players? Because you can say if it was the players, you just get the players that can upgrade the penalty kill to make it look better, then the system that LePerrier runs might have worked. But over the course of years, it's just struggled, and it's most likely LePerrier's system on the penalty kill that's just not working. Yeah, ever since we've been the top faceoff team for a couple of years with LePerrier there, but I would rather trade a number one penalty kill. Actually, I'd rather trade a really high stat in faceoff wins for a really good penalty kill or a really good power play. But I don't know. And then the whole situation with some of our rookies just are snake bitten and are struggling connecting. He's been snake bitten this whole season. He's constantly hitting posts. He just can't hit the net, and he's making wrong passes at the wrong times when he probably should actually take the shot. You got a couple games ago against the Florida Panthers where he was just in his zone. He got a pass from Drew. He was waiting for Provorov to come in, and then that led to a penalty because he's put it in Provorov's skates, and then it almost led to a breakaway down the other end, and Provorov had to take the penalty. And then you got Ivan Provorov. He's just really struggling out of the gate. I don't know what's wrong with him. Is it the injury that he got last year from the Penguin series? Is that shoulder not strong enough yet? Is there some disclosed injury that doesn't want to sit out for? Because he hasn't been injured, or he hasn't sat out since he's been up in the league, since he's been a couple years ago. He hasn't taken one game off. He's played 82 games both seasons in a row. And right now it's looking like he's going to play another 82 games in a season, but I don't know what's wrong with Provorov. He just doesn't look the same right now. Same with Gostisbehere. Gostisbehere's just, from when I look him on the ice, he just hesitating to do anything. He hesitates to make a pass. He hesitates to bring the puck up. And then when he hesitates to make a pass, he'll just pass it over to some random guy who's probably not expecting the puck, and it's a turnover. And it's an easy read for the other team. I just don't know what to say. And then offensively, you got Drew. Yeah, he's having a really good year. He's got 22 points right now, but right now he hasn't had a point in the past 2 games because hopefully it's not that he's getting the jitters because he's 1 point away from 700, and he's going to be snake bitten for a couple of games until he gets that 700 points. So I really hope that's not the case, because it was the same thing last year with Couturier before he got that 30th goal, because that 30th goal would have been his 100th career NHL goal, and he was snake bitten for a couple of weeks. So hopefully that is not the thing for Drew. And then the second line I'm fine with, because it's still Lindblom and Patrick. They've been an underdog story. Not really an underdog. They've just been underrated. They've been a really good pair with Voracek. Voracek is off and on, but he can put up pointages and streaks. And then the third line, JVR is just coming back. I don't know what to say about Jordan Wheel. So there's games where he can look really good, and there's games where he just can't touch the puck at all. And then Wayne Simmons just doesn't look the same after last season. He isn't winning board battles like he used to. He's not getting the rebounds. He can't bury the puck in the net. He's making terrible passes like he always does. I don't know what to say about Wayne Simmons, because this could possibly be his last season in Philadelphia if all goes wrong, I would say. Because honest to God, I don't see him getting re-signed. I see him honestly getting traded, possibly at the deadline or even at the draft. And that fourth line, Scott Lawn has been one of our best players this season. And then you got Dale Weiss, who's Dale Weiss. And then you got the recently called up Albert Kubel, who's looked good in the limited amount of ice time he's gotten. So hopefully he can stay up the rest of the season, because it's benching Laterra, and every fan wants to see Laterra bench, even I do. So I'm happy with the fourth line, even with Dale Weiss on it. And then also back on the defensive side, Robert Haig, he's looked decent he's been one of our best defenders. And then Radko Gudas, he's honestly been one of the best defenders on this team right now. And then Fullen, he's been, even though he looks shaky at times, Fullen really hasn't been that detrimental being in the lineup, because Andrew MacDonald, he's been a little off this season because he rushed himself back from injury. But now with Gudas, he's taken a personal looks. I'm not sure if it's injury because he didn't play last night, even though he took the maintenance day in the game before Florida, and he played that day. So I don't know what's wrong with Gudas right now, if it's injury or it's personal related. So, yeah, the defensive core is just, it's a mix of struggling and a mix of young guys. We got Provorov, who are also young guys in Gosper, but they're just struggling right now. And then Sanheim and Haig, they're young, but Sanheim, this is technically, I'm not sure if this is technically his rookie season. This could be, because I'm not sure if I remember how many games he played last season. But Sanheim is still learning the NHL game, so he's only going to get better, hopefully. And then our goaltending situation is just constantly Michael Neuwirth and Brian Elliott just getting injured. Michael Neuwirth just can't see the light of day. He played one game against the Islanders and he was back on the injured reserve list. Who knows why? Because Michael Neuwirth just gets injured. I don't know. Is it the players? Is it the system? Is it the coaching staff? Is it Ron Hextall? Because out of all, I do want this coaching staff fired, because you got Joel Quenneville just sitting out there, not hired, when you can just, I wouldn't want to take a risk of another team picking him up who needs a coach, an experienced coach like Joel Quenneville who's won 3 Stanley Cups, and just let him go to another team when you have a chance to get him. Like Dave Haxtell, he's been, with the firing of Joe Quenneville, he's been one of the longest tenured coaches in the NHL right now, because this is his 4th season going in with the Flyers. And it's been up and down. It's missed playoffs, make the playoffs, miss playoffs, make the playoffs. And something needs to change. Whether it's a coaching change, whether it's a trade, because something needs to spark this team, because we've just been stuck in the mediocrity ever since we fired Laviolette, which was honestly the worst coach firing I've ever seen. I can understand that season when Laviolette got fired because we were off to like 1-7. Or it wasn't even that 1-7 start that season. He got fired after the first 3 games, which I don't know why. So something just needs to be changed. So what are your guys' thoughts? What do you think needs to be changed? And how do you think the Flyers should go about this stuck in mediocrity right now? So don't forget to leave comments in the comment section. Drop a like. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, boys. I'll hopefully get some videos more up and coming this week since I'm off from Thanksgiving. So I'll see you guys in the next video.